In the quiet village of Okuru, there lay a river no one dared to touch. A long, winding stretch of water the color of deep sky blue. The villagers called it the Whispering River, because on certain nights, when the moon bent low and the wind stopped breathing, the river would murmur softly, like someone telling secrets beneath the water. The elders always warned, "Do not touch the Whispering River. It remembers everything." To most villagers, that warning was enough. But not to Keen. Keen was a small 14-year-old boy with sharp eyes and a stubborn heart. He was known for wearing clothes too large for his thin body, for always carrying a broken gourd, and for being the poorest child in the entire village. Other children mocked him, especially when he came to the market with cracked plates or threadbare wrappers. One afternoon, as Keen sat beside a row of fishermen cleaning their nets, he overheard two old men whispering. "I saw it," one muttered, eyes wide. "A fish with golden scales, swimming near the forbidden river. It looked like a fallen star." The other shivered. "Those things bring fortune. But the river never gives anything freely." Ken's heartbeat quickened. Golden scales. Fortune. No more poverty. That night, as the village fell asleep and the crickets took over the world, Keen tiptoed out of his mother's hut, clutching a handmade fishing spear made from bamboo and an old knife. The Whispering River lay ahead, glowing faintly as if lit from under by trapped moonlight. A soft humming drifted from its surface, gentle, hypnotic, almost calling his name. Keen. Keen. He stepped onto the slippery stones at the water's edge, his spear shaking in his hands. "One fish," he whispered, "just one, and my life will change." He took a deep breath, raised the spear, and threw it into the glowing water. The river erupted. Light shot upward like lightning striking the sky. Waves rolled backward instead of forward. The wind stopped breathing. And from the center of the river rose a figure. A girl made entirely of water. Her body shimmered like living crystal. Her hair flowed like liquid moonbeams. Her eyes glowed softly, blue and ancient. Keen stumbled backward and fell on the wet sand. The water girl studied him with sad curiosity. "I am Azael," she said, her voice like ripples against a rock. "Guardian of the Whispering River. Why have you called me?" I didn't mean to," Keen stuttered. "I only wanted a fish. One golden fish." Instead of anger, Azael reached out gently and touched his forehead with a cool, glowing finger. When Keen opened his eyes, she was gone. But beside him lay a single golden fish, its scales shining like the sun. He gasped. That fish bought him clean clothes. New sandals. Fresh food. For the first time in his life, people looked at him with envy instead of pity. And envy is a dangerous thing to a young heart. 2 nights later, Keen was back at the river. Azael rose again, but her glow was dimmer. "You should not return," she warned softly. "The river gives only what it can carry. Each gift costs something." But Keen was deaf to wisdom. "Just one more," he begged. "Please, Azael. One more blessing." Her eyes filled with pain. She lifted her hand and released a single glowing tear. It floated downward, touched the surface, and turned into a stone of pure gold. Keen snatched it immediately. Deep below the riverbed, something shifted, something heavy, ancient, and displeased. Days passed, and Ken's wealth grew. He bought things he didn't need. He walked around with pride he didn't earn. And soon, people began to whisper behind his back. How did a beggar become a prince overnight? He has found something. Something powerful. Follow him. Watch him. And so they did. 2 older boys saw him leaving his hut late at night. They followed silently through the bush, staying far enough to avoid notice. What they saw made them run back to the village with shaking voices. "He's going to the Whispering River. He's talking to a water spirit. She is giving him gold. The whole village buzzed like disturbed bees. The elders summoned Keen, but he denied everything. Still, suspicion grew. That night, half the village hid in the bushes as Keen approached the river again. Azael rose from the water, but she looked weak. Very weak. Her glow flickered like a dying candle. Keen. Please, she whispered. You are draining me. You are hurting the river. Do not ask for more. But Keen stepped forward. Give me my blessing. The villagers gasped in shock. They emerged from the trees, surrounding the trembling spirit. Chief Ngolo stepped forward, his voice heavy with greed. If her tears bring gold, then let her cry for us all. Azael backed away, shaking her head. No, please. You do not understand. If I break, the river breaks with me. But the chief raised his hand, and several men formed a circle around her. They begged. They shouted. They threatened. Azael squeezed her eyes shut. And tears began to fall. Each tear hit the sand and hardened instantly into nuggets of gold. The villagers lunged forward like starving animals. Some fell to the ground, scrambling for the stones. Others fought with fists and nails. The once peaceful whispering river became a scene of madness. Keen watched, horrified. By the time the villagers were done, Azael lay collapsed on the sand, dim and fading like smoke in the wind. And then, the river fell silent. For the first time in centuries, the whispering river stopped whispering. A terrifying hush filled the air. Birds fled into the sky. The ground trembled softly. The water darkened, thickened, almost as if it were turning into liquid night. Azael's faint voice cracked out one last warning. You have taken what the river cannot lose. And now, the river remembers. Before anyone could move, the river rose. Not gently. Not peacefully. It rose like a monster awakened from a 1,000-year sleep. A great wall of black water surged upward with a roar that shook the trees. Villagers screamed as the flood crashed into them, sweeping away huts, food stalls, torches, everything. Keen tried to run, but the water grabbed him by the legs and dragged him under. Through the swirling darkness, he saw her. Azael, floating above him like a fading ghost. She whispered. You took until I broke. Now the river takes back. Then the darkness swallowed him whole. By dawn, the water receded. Half the village was destroyed. Many homes were gone. Gold lay scattered everywhere. But no one touched it. Azael was gone. The whispering river was calm. Too calm. It would never whisper again. The villagers gathered at the riverbank in mourning. They carved a wooden statue of Azael and placed it by the water's edge. Children were taught the story of the greedy boy named Keen, who sought to force blessings from what was never his to take. And every year, the elders repeat the same words. The river gives. The river takes. But greed can.